Hey everybody, Zach Wolf here with another great Top 5 Tuesday. This week it's the top 5 misconceptions people have about litigation based on TV and movies. Everybody's seen courtroom dramas on TV, shows like Law and Order or movies, maybe like A Few Good Men or one of my favorites, My Cousin Vinny. And people get certain ideas about how litigation works from watching those shows, and they're usually not accurate. So let me give you my top 5. Number 5 is that litigation moves fast. Now you can understand why on a TV show they would want litigation to move fast. It's going to be boring if it moves slow. But if you've ever been a party to a lawsuit, you know that it doesn't move that fast. Now, it may seem fast to the lawyers because we've got more than one case at a time and we're always working on some deadline for the next case. But for clients, it usually feels pretty slow. The number 4 misconception about litigation is that trials are exciting. Now, don't get me wrong. I love trials. Trials are exciting for me. They're exciting for the lawyers. We get to do what we really love to do. But for most people watching a trial, especially in a business case, the kind of case I typically handle, it's usually not all that exciting. It's usually going to be, honestly, pretty boring. So if you're ever on a jury or if you're a client who's going to watch a trial, just be prepared that it's not typically going to be as exciting as it is in the movies. The number 3 misconception that people have about litigation is that judges are experts on the law. You know, in movies, the judge is usually this very respected senior figure who, knows the law inside and out. Now, there are certainly judges like that, and there are judges who have expertise in certain areas of the law, no question. But there's no judge who can really be an expert on every area of law. That would be almost impossible. So judges rely heavily on the lawyers to argue and tell them about the legal principles that apply in a particular case. The number 2 misconception about litigation is that highly successful litigators tend to act like jerks. I've noticed in movies and in TV that a lot of times successful litigators treat everyone like dirt. The opposing counsel, their own client, the lawyers they work with. In my experience, lawyers who act like that are usually not that successful. If you think about it, it's easy to understand why. Litigation is about persuasion, and people who act like jerks usually are not that persuasive. Finally, the number 1 misconception people have about litigation from TV and movies is that lawyers successfully resolve lawsuits with threats or with other sort of external methods of convincing the other side to settle. For example, threatening that if the other person doesn't settle, you're going to report them to the IRS, or threatening somebody that if you don't do what we want, we're going to tell your wife that you've been cheating on her. You know, you've seen this kind of thing before. Well, in over 20 years of litigation practice, I don't think I've ever seen a case resolved that way. Usually cases get resolved for much more boring reasons, and it's really more because the lawyers do their homework, do their preparation, and when you get a successful resolution, it's usually more because of those kind of boring things than something that would be more exciting in a TV show or in a movie. So those are my top 5 misconceptions about litigation. Did I miss one? Hey, let me know, and thanks for watching.